Welcome to the Know, I'm Meg Turney.
I'm actually Jenkins.
Nothing is true. Everything is permitted, especially when it means Michael Fassbender as an assassino.
That's Spanish for assassin. The Assassin's Creed movie trailer dropped last night, giving us our first glimpse at Ubisoft's dual-bladed film adaptation of their hit franchise, and Kanye West for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, guess one man shouldn't have all that power.
But he's a creative genius.
Whatever. At the time of writing, it's at nearly 2 million views and counting, and so far there's no real story to be had about the trailer's like-dislike bar. We're so sorry. We should update you on the Call of Duty one now, but
we'll add that. The Call of Duty one is 300,000 dislikes away from 1.8 million dislikes. That's the fancy way of saying it's past 1.5 million dislikes. There's your update, everybody. The world premiere trailer hit during Jimmy Kimmel Live last night, because that's apparently where we show trailers now, shedding more light on the movie's premise and Magneto kicking Templar ass.
Look, it's so fine with all that eyeliner. There aren't many surprises.
Guyliner.
Guyliner, yes.
It's got its own name.
There weren't many surprises to be had in the trailer, which could be a good or bad thing, depending on how much you want the movie to hold true to the source material.
It's got free running, eagle dives, Abstergo, Assassins vs. Templars, the Animus. So far, it's ticking all the boxes you'd expect from an Assassin's Creed story hitting the silver screen.
No bugs, glitches, or annoying Uplay notifications in the trailer, guys.
And everybody's face shows up.
Stay true to the games, Ubisoft.
Ubisoft has said that this film does take place in the same universe as the video games, although considering the game's ridiculously confusing canon, it's hard to tell how much that sentiment is even worth.
Yes. Last fall, Amar Azazia, head of Assassin's Creed content at Ubisoft, said the elements in the film have consequences as in our games, comics, and books. So, I mean, it's good to know it's not just some side story that has no bearing on the games we've been playing since 2007.
Right, not like those side-scrollers in Russia and Japan and stuff that we've been wanting in proper format. Anyway. It's fine. It's fine. We're good. The trailer kicks off the way any proper Assassin's Creed story should. A creepy Abstergo lady, R.I.P. Lucy, welcoming Fassbender's character to Abstergo jail.
A jail, a pharmaceutical company, a video game company. Those Templars, man, they really know how to build up their shadow corporation's portfolio.
Look, they've got their template and they're sticking to it. Next up, Fassbender's character, Caleb Lynch, gets manhandled by a weird-looking GLaDOS version of the Animus, I guess, before being transported back to Spain, just in time for vacation in the Spanish Inquisition.
Welcome
I bet he didn't expect that.
Yeah. There he becomes the 15th century assassin Christina Aguilera. I don't know what it is. The interesting thing about that period, though, means that Assassin's Creed 2 star Ezio would be operating in the same time frame.
Ezio started his path to medieval Batmaning in the year 1476 before he died of a heart attack at the age of 65 in 1524. Spoilers. The beginnings of the Spanish Inquisition took place in that exact period. It was established in 1478, and all the film's press materials specifically mention that Aguilar is from the 15th century.
Yes, that's a history lesson with Ashley. Killed it.
Look how good at history I am.
So it is possible that at some point in the film, we might get to see an Ezio appearance. Italy and Spain, really, not that far apart, guys. Just, like 2,000 kilometers or something. They had jets back then.
That was nothing. Maybe they're just pen pals. They have a pigeon that goes back and forth. But look, Ezio actually did travel a lot during his tenure as an assassin. He went to Masayaf and Istanbul, so a trip to Spain wouldn't be totally out of the question, especially for the VP of Assassininos, or whatever, in Italy. That's what his position was, right? He was a VP of Assassininos?
I am Assassinino. I am Assassino. I am Assassin. Alright, all they have to do is play more memories, and then they'll be able to fast travel or ride their horses to each other, guys. Come on.
Yeah, then again, it could just be that they set it in the same time period to give it the same styling that most people associate with the franchise, which would be the 15th and 16th century Europe from Ezio's trilogy. Best trilogy, right?
Kill all of our fun there. After the intro, we're treated to a montage of soldiers battling, assassins, assassininoing, and lots of Lynch training in the present, plus more Kanye for some reason.
Seriously, that song had no place in that trailer. No. It'll be interesting to see if Lynch starts off as a badass assassin in the past, or if he has to get trained alongside his training in the present timeline. Maybe I don't know, it might be kind of weird to have the character up to speed in 2 different timelines. One of those things that works in a video game, but maybe it doesn't work in a film. I'm sure they've taken that into account.
Yeah, after that, tons of iconic shots that should be familiar to video gamers, including the series' famed Eagle Dive. Hopefully he doesn't have to land on some hay, and then he'll just die because he's a person.
If he lands in hay, like, that's it. That's like the
you're
capper.
safe.
You can't do anything beyond that. It's clear the initial trailer is doing whatever it can to excite fans of the games. It's hard to make a judgment about quality at this point because it is a teaser trailer, and we've seen all kinds of movies with unfinished effects that look a lot better later on. Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm talking to you. But of course, what really matters for Ubisoft is how well it will perform at the box office for moviegoers.
Yes, so far they seem reasonably confident that this one will perform just fine. I mean, a second Assassin's Creed film has already been greenlit by Ubisoft, again, starring Fassy Assy Assbender.
Assassin Bender.
Assassinino.
Yeah, we've seen some video game films struggling to do big business in the past, but there's actually an argument that Assassin's Creed might be the franchise to change the trend of video game busts.
Yes, not only is Assassin's Creed platform agnostic, it's also moved on more than 80 million units in its lifetime sales of the franchise. It's just one of those properties that everyone, even casual gamers, are familiar with in some way, thanks in large part to its yearly release schedule.
Yeah, annualization of franchises is the best. However, the movie might be repeating the same blunder that other video game films have made previously by waiting till the franchise is kind of on the downswing in terms of relevancy.
Very true. That's what typically seems to happen with video game movies. 2005's Doom was a huge bust at theaters, earning back just $55 million worldwide from its $60 million budget.
Yeah, with that first-person segment, though, it probably would have done a lot better a decade or so earlier, when Doom mattered.
Doom's coming out.
Or maybe
soon.
if they timed it with the current Doom,
right,
something like that, like some closer
when
tie-in.
it matters, absolutely.
Did that one come out around a Doom game in any way?
No clue.
Or did they just go, The Rock can do it?
I think it was that. That's why we have Rock Jumanji coming up. The right time, again, for a Halo movie, if we're talking about relevance, would have been maybe in the middle of Halo 3's Mania, or like the lead up to that game's launch, because people really cared about Halo then, and now
less so. And the Uncharted movie, currently in the middle of development hell, might have been better to release sometime last year, at the latest, possibly this year. By the time that one comes out, if it ever comes out, they'll have moved on to some other half-tucked hero besides Nathan Drake.
Assassin's Creed was right at the peak of its popularity around Assassin's Creed 3, which broke all kinds of records for Ubisoft when released in 2012 and broke the hearts of millions.
Yeah, arguably, Assassin's Creed 3 is why the downswing began. Since then, the franchise has run into some major stops, like the disastrously buggy Assassin's Creed Unity and the tepidly received Assassin's Creed Syndicate, even though they had really sweet top hat things. It's been so troubled that Ubisoft has had to back off for a year, delaying the next game to 2017.
Man, you think Ubisoft's kicking themselves a little bit for the timing of this movie? Like, shit, we should have probably just waited one more year.
This is their annual entry in the franchise
there you
this
go.
year. Still, the franchise might be just relevant enough that it proves to be a huge hit for everyone involved in the making of the film, and at the very least, maybe a couple million people that aren't going to play one of the games this year will go see it in the theater.
Absolutely. Of course, we're healthily skeptical because salt. But all in all, the movie looks to be heading in a fairly respectable direction. Just cut the Kanye, put in some Lorde. Remember the Lorde trailer for Unity? Everybody wants so
to. That
good.
was really good.
It was so good. And then your game
was haunting.
Oh, it was great. Put that back in. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Still, the first bar of judgment has been cleared, whether or not that actually looks like the games. And yes, they have managed at least that much. I could have mistaken it for a game teaser any day.
Yes.
Whether
so much guy
that's could be good, could be bad.
She drank a lot at lunch, that's why.
I drink a lot of lunch because I watched the teaser.
Exactly. Assassin's Creed is being produced by New Regency, 20th Century Fox, and Ubisoft's motion picture division, good God, I drank too, is scheduled to hit theaters December 21st later this year. You'll see it.
Yeah, but hey, if that trailer's got you jazzed enough and you didn't drink afterwards, you can get one of the movie's ludicrous pre-order packages. One of them gives you a replica crossbow for the low, low price of $1,200.
Movie pre-order bonuses, everyone. Welcome to the future. Thanks for creating that.
Trend.
Yeah.
Oh, video games. What do you guys think of the Assassin's Creed trailer? Could it buck the video game movie trend? Or is it destined for the same fate as the franchise's most recent games?
For more updates about Assassin's Creed and more Michael Fassbender, like this video. Subscribe to the Now.
I could watch Michael Fassbender read a phone book.
I would watch his dick in that movie where he gets his dick out.
What movie is that?
Shame, where he's a sex addict. Everybody, do put your hands up, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, he has a movie where he's a sex addict and he just fucks a bunch of people. Yeah, Google it, because I found it for the Assassin's Creed story I did last. Sassassin. You're putting the sass in assassin. Last bar. Nope. I just can't even say it all. There he becomes 15th century assassin Aguilar de Nera. Maybe?
Aguilar de Nerja? Aguilar
My
de Nerja.
knowledge of Christina Aguilera says Aguilar.